probably maybe even DOS. I don't know if it transferred over. But I remember doing a lecture called Be Your Own Doctor. And I said, we need to revitalize this. So this is a 40-year-old lecture coming back to life today with updates and upgrades. So they got everything running. So John's going to click on our other camera, our Restream, and then we'll get started, which is great. We talk for 24 minutes. Then we take a break. I answer your health questions. Then we do another 24 minutes, and I take a break and answer your health questions again. So if you don't get your question in or you think about something after the show, please send me an email through the website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. Happy to do that. Folks, welcome. We got all our cameras working now. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. And the way this works, if you're new to the show, because we just added a whole nother Facebook page we weren't streaming on for a while, is I will speak for 24 minutes. Topic today is Be Your Own Doctor. So this is just rapid fire tips on health tips. Whatever platform you're on, at 24 minutes, if you have a question, type it in anytime during the 24 minutes. John, my producer, will read me the question. Then we do another 24 minutes, and I answer your questions again. This is a very rare opportunity to have your health questions answered by me live. Now, if you're watching this on a follow-up or a restream, you can always send your question through the website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. And I'm happy to answer your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, if you send me a question, they're setting up another camera here, so that's why I'm jabbering for a second. If you send a question, I will answer it within 24 hours. Give me a second. Don't get a little feisty. Send something 10 minutes later. Where are you? I have a business. I have practices to run too. So, John, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. And we're going to restream on our new Facebook page. Well, not our old Facebook page. All right, ready? Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. Glad you're with me today. We're going to talk today about tips on how to be your own doctor. Now, about 40 years ago, I did this lecture. I used to do a lot of live lectures, still do. And I found some old notes and the Be Your Own Doctor notes. And I said, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I revitalized it, brought it up to the modern times, of course. And so it's going to be nonstop tips on things you can do to be your own doctor. Save you a little money, save your health, save a lot of time. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always send them through my website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. Happy to answer questions for you. So let's jump right in because we got a lot to cover today. We may even have to do 2 sections on this. I'm not even sure. But first thing, let's talk about, as cold and flu season rolls in, your immune system. Because this is a biggie. Every year, it's the worst cold and flu season ever, and people are getting sick, and people are dying, and what do we do about it? And there's nothing you can do, and does the vaccine match the flu virus that year, the flu strain? Did it work? We don't know, because I don't know if you know how vaccines work, but researchers will say, okay, what strain of flu is going on? I think it's in Asia, actually, they start, because it moves across the world that way. And they develop vaccines to match that strain. Well, if the strain mutates or it's a different strain, we're wrong. It was a wrong vaccine. So I want to teach you how to keep your immune system strong by yourself. What can you do every single day? Now, this is not a guarantee that you're not going to get symptoms. But I will promise you that you'll probably do a whole lot better if you are infected than if you didn't do these things. So years ago, I did a lecture called The 7 Deadly Sins of Nutrition. And I did it by accident one day. I was actually doing a lecture, and I remember the lecture actually, and I was talking about a breakfast buffet at a restaurant. I don't think they're around anymore. But I said, okay, just name something on the buffet and let's see if it's good or bad. And so somebody mentioned eggs. We talked about eggs. If you can do eggs, make sure they're organic. And, the less you cook them, the better off it's going to be. But watch out for salmonella. And then they talked about bacon. Of course, there is no healthy bacon. And we talked about grits. And grits can spike your blood sugar. And corn can be genetically modified. And this is even before I think we had genetically modified corn. So we went through each piece. And it was a very interactive lecture. It was a lot of fun. Because now I kind of do more talking and people do more listening. But we had more interaction. And I came up with 7 foods. And I remember at the end, I said, well, this is like the 7 worst foods you can, kind of like the Bible, the 7 deadly sins of nutrition. And I said it jokingly. Well, it became my signature lecture for years and years and years. So the 7 deadly sins of nutrition. These are the 7 foods you want to cut back or cut out of your diet, not just for your immune system, but for overall health. And the 7 foods are alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. Now, if you're the average American, you just got mad at me. You just said, Dr. Joe, that's my whole diet. All I ever eat is alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. There's no way anyone can survive without alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. And I say, you're wrong. I just don't tell people they're wrong, but you're wrong on this. So alcohol, of course, weakens the immune system, blows out the liver. I'll do it real quick because I got a lot more to cover today. But alcohol is so dangerous on so many levels. There is no safe level of alcohol because alcohol will always cause damage. More alcohol, more damage. Less alcohol, less damage. So if you're going to drink, okay, holiday may come up. You may have parties to come to. If you're going to drink, I wish you wouldn't. But if you do, I want you to mitigate the damage. And it's very easy and cheap to mitigate the damage. You want to take an extra scoop of Dr. Joe's Essential Source, an extra scoop of Super Greens, and Dr. Joe's B-Complex, an extra B-Complex. Do that on the day you're going to drink. You take it in the morning, as you should anyway. That should be your standard supplements. And then you take a second dose at night. Also, you have to drink a lot of water. Alcohol dehydrates you. And viruses love when the body is dehydrated. They get all excited about that. So for every drink you have, you want to have 3 glasses of water. Now, 2 things happen if you do this. Number 1, you pee a lot, so you're not drinking as much. You're in the bathroom. But number 2, you have to rehydrate the body. Because there's a hormone in your brain called vasopressin, also called antidiuretic hormone. Right now, all of us are producing antidiuretic hormone. And we're not peeing. Our body's conserving water, recycling the water, and we're good. When you put alcohol in the body, alcohol slows down the production of vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, and you pee a lot. Why is that? Right? You drink 1 beer, you pee out 3. Where'd those other 2 beers come from? Your body says, I've got to get this alcohol out of the system as quickly as possible because it's going to destroy brain cells. And your brain controls everything. So your body says, I got to get rid of this stuff right away. The best, quickest way out is make you pee. And then if you drink enough, you throw up, of course. That's phase 2. So if you drink alcohol, you've got to rehydrate yourself. Replace the water that you're going to drain out. So extra serving of Super Greens, extra serving of Essential Source, B-Complex, and then lots of water. This way you're mitigating the damage. I'm not giving you permission to do it, but I'm also a realist. And I realize that people are going to drink. I cannot go to, I can't say any event, but I can't think of any event that I go to, and I go to a lot of events, where somebody isn't drinking. I mean, that's how ubiquitous it is. It's everywhere. And so I have to come to the realization I'm not going to change that. Now, I'm going to tell you something I'm going to deny later on, although this is being videotaped. Okay, if you study Ayurvedic medicine, there are certain things you can do. And you can take certain herbs. Now, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to cancel that. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a way to avoid hangovers, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to skip that. So meat, of course, if you're going to eat meat, make sure it's organic and try to do minimum amount because meat is very hard to digest. It's a lot of work on the nervous system and the digestive system. And 80% of your immune system is in your digestive system. So the better care we take of our digestive system, the better care we have or taking care of our immune system. So if you're eating the 7 deadly sins, alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener, you're beating up your intestines and you're beating up your immune system. And so don't do that. Meat is very hard to digest. And there are some benefits to it, but there's also some downsides. My opinion, the downsides far outweigh the benefits. And all the benefits you can get from meat, you can get from other foods. So, for example, you can be vegan and not have really any deficiencies. The only deficiency you have to worry about if you're vegan is vitamin B12. Well, take a B12 supplement. Take a methylcobalamin B supplement, not a cyanocobalamin. Most B supplements are cyanocobalamin, B12. Cyano is cyanide. So you're giving your body a molecule of cyanide to go along with your cobalamin, your B12. Methylcobalamin makes it so much easier to use for everyone. Some people can use the cyanocobalamin, most can't. So just do methylcobalamin. Dr. Joe's B-Complex is methylated, so that's what you want to do. So if you don't eat meat, I don't eat meat. The only concern you have to worry about really is B12. And so I take a B12 supplement. Now, sugar just blows out your immune system. It just weakens your immune system. So it's kind of funny that when we go into cold and flu season, right, winter months, what do? We start out with Halloween, candy, 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 sugar, sugar, sugar. Then we go into Thanksgiving, excessive amounts of foods you wouldn't normally eat either, so your immune system doesn't know what to do with them. Then we have holiday parties, party, 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 party. Then we have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, more foods you don't usually eat with a lot of alcohol stuck inside, not a lot of sunlight, a lot of sugars and meats and dairies and coffees and sodas. Then We take a week off, 1 week, and then we have New Year's Eve, and we do it again. So it may not be cold and flu season. It may be, wow, we're eating junk season. So I understand the holidays are coming. I get it. It's a lot of fun, but mitigate your damage. Because this is what happens. It happens every year. I've never been wrong. In 40 years, I say this story every year. What happens is Halloween comes along. You buy candy for the kids. You don't use it all. What do you do with it? You eat it. And you buy the stuff you like, too. And you save that, right? You give the kids the junky stuff. You save the good stuff. It's what's left over. You eat it. So you'll get sick. Most people start to get sick usually about a week or so after Halloween. They start getting a little better. Thanksgiving comes around. You're traveling. You're stressed out. You got family in town. You're not going to the bathroom like you used to. You're not eating regular foods. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, a lot of people are sick. Then Christmas comes around. You're finally starting to feel a little better. You do the same thing, and then New Year. So I've never been wrong. I don't want you to be part of it, though. So what I do is this. I love going to parties. I go to, I'm going to say at least 7 or 8 events a week. That means sometimes 2 a day. Sometimes lunches, sometimes dinners, sometimes parties. And that's okay. That's my lifestyle. I choose it. I like it. And I get invited to a lot of stuff. The more you go, my mother always said, the more you go, the more you get invited. So I go, I get invited. So I eat before I go. Now, I don't stuff myself. So if there is something there I can eat that I'd like to have, I do. But I don't make a meal at an event, unless it's a dinner, of course. But if it's just going to be a party and there's going to be snack food and stuff like that, I'll eat before I go, just enough to hold me over. So if there's nothing I would eat, I'm not going to be hungry. I'm not going to be cranky. Much better choice. Drink a lot of water. Make sure you're taking your supplements. We're going to talk about supplements. We're talking about how to get the immune system strong. Vitamin D3 is so important. 10 drops of Dr. Joe's vitamin D3 every day, absolute minimum. And now we have 2 other supplements, Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster and Dr. Joe's Seasonal Tonic. I really don't talk about it during the holiday seasons, but Wellness Booster, take every day. It helps stimulate your immune system and keep you strong. If you start getting under the weather, as soon as you get that little scratchy throat, that little runny nose, you start taking Dr. Joe's Seasonal Tonic. Now, Seasonal Tonic tastes strong. I'm not going to say awful, but strong. It's ginger, horseradish, cayenne pepper, onion, garlic, pureed in apple cider vinegar, and then fermented. Powerful stuff. Take 2 dropperfuls every hour. In most cases, if you get it from start, right, as soon as you start getting symptoms, in most cases, within a day or 2, you're done. And you'll forget you ever had it. Now, if you don't get it right away, it may take a little longer. So Wellness Booster every day, Seasonal Tonic. Now, we've put it on sale for the holiday season, 40% off. And I'm doing this because I don't want you getting sick. Because one sickness can lead to another. If you have a weakened immune system, it could lead to other problems. So I'm essentially giving it to you, okay? But Wellness Booster and Seasonal Tonic is on the website, drjoe.com. And so is the vitamin D3 with K2. So we have supplements, Super Green Essential Source, B Complex, Vitamin D3, Wellness Booster, and then Seasonal Tonic if you start getting some symptoms every day. Got to do it. Even if you're not doing anything else for your diet, not doing anything else for your stress levels, got to do that if your goal is to get well. So the vitamin D3, you can take 20,000 units a day for up to 4 days. Now, the best way to monitor your vitamin D3 levels is get it tested. So when you get your blood work done, they usually don't test vitamin D3. Ask the doctor to add it on. The doctor may say this: it's not covered by your insurance. Your response is this: how much does it cost? It's a really cheap test. And you're getting the blood work done anyway. The draw is paid for. The shipping is paid for. I want you to add the vitamin D3 level to it. Normally, the accepted levels are about 40 nanograms per milliliter. I want you at 60 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. Now, I've had patients taking vitamin D for a long time. The vitamin D goes up to like 100 nanograms per milliliter. It's a little high. The nice part about vitamin D is you just stop taking it for a couple of days, it comes back down again. Now, you can overdose, of course, on anything, but you're going to have to take a lot of vitamin D to overdose. But that's why I don't care if your insurance covers it or not. Pay the extra couple of bucks, get your vitamin D level tested. You also want to get your homocysteine levels tested. I'm going off on a tangent now. Homocysteine determines the risk of cholesterol sticking to your artery walls. If it's not covered, ask how much it is to add it on. Pay cash. Stop letting insurance companies dictate your life. My insurance doesn't cover it. So, you still need it. You know what? Skip going out to dinner one night this week. It's going to be way cheaper than going out to dinner, just having that blood work added on. So why wouldn't you do it? All right, I'm going to stay home that night. I'm going to have, beans and rice and beans. Cover the cost of it. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. You can still pay for your health care. You're allowed. Just because I can't do that, my insurance doesn't cover it. No, you can still do it. Just your insurance doesn't cover it. Two separate sentences. You put it together as one. It's not true. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent here. So you want to keep the immune system strong. There's another thing you can do is add something called beta-glucan to your diet. Now, beta-glucan you'll find in things like nutritional yeast. You'll find in steel-cut organic oats. And beta-glucan is great for keeping the immune system strong. So I want you to consider adding this to your diet. Now, I said organic steel-cut oats. I said that for a reason. Rolled oats don't count. They may have beta-glucan in it, but they spike your blood sugar, and that can weaken the immune system. So steel-cut organic oats have a lot of fiber, have a lot of beta-glucan, push things through your colon, keep the bowels moving, because that's really important for your health. And it's not sprayed with glyphosate. Most commercial oats in this country is sprayed with glyphosate. And so glyphosate is a weed killer. It kills off the good bacteria as well as the bad bacteria in your colon. And we said 70% of your immune system is where? In your colon. So you're blowing out your immune system by exposing yourself to things like glyphosate. Now, as we go through the holiday seasons, we eat a lot of baked goods. Made with what? Wheat. Wheat, most commercial wheat in the United States is sprayed with glyphosate. Now, why do we spray oats and wheat with glyphosate? It's easier to kill. It's easier to harvest, I'm sorry. You spray it on, it kills it like a dead weed. It's easy to cut down. Absolutely no benefit whatsoever except it's cheaper. Cheaper for the farmer. And I'm okay. Hey, farmers got to make a living too, but that doesn't mean you have to eat it. So be careful. Now is the time of the year. We're eating oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, sugar, wheat, oats, blowing out your blood sugar. Be careful. Because if you get sick, many times it's your own fault. Not always. But I hate to say sometimes it's your own fault. Another thing we do to keep the immune system strong is chiropractic care. There are studies done. Life University, Marietta, Georgia, did some studies years ago that we can measure white blood cell activity, adjust you, and watch the white blood cell activity become more active after an adjustment. So most people think chiropractic care is just for neck pain and back pain. Man, it's really good for that. Nothing better in most cases for back pain than chiropractic care. And it's the least expensive. But it also can help your immune system. So if we can get the immune system working, we're talking today, by the way, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. We're talking today about be your own doctor, giving you hints on how to be your own doctor. And so these are just some tips. I got a bunch to cover. Now, I'm not going to cover everything. I may have to do part 2 on this, actually, and I'm still not going to cover everything. If you want a copy of these notes, my cheat sheet, absolutely free, send me an email through the website, drjoe.com. Happy to send it to you. My gift to you, no charge. Send me your email. I send you a copy of the show notes, free. If you have any health questions at all, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, send it to me through the website, drjoe.com. I'm happy to answer your questions for you. I answer them personally. Give me a second, though. When you send it, give me a second to answer. I will get back to you, I promise. Give me at least 24 hours before you start getting nervous, okay? So drjoe.com, great source of information. Now, if you want to make an appointment to come see us, whether it's virtual or in person, in the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. I want to be your doctor. Let's check your nervous system. Let's check your digestive system. Let's look at your diet, what you're eating, what you shouldn't be eating, what you should be eating, supplements. Let's put together a plan, a protocol, health plan. Most people have health insurance. They don't have a health plan. This is a health plan, specifically custom to you. Let's do what we can to get the body working the best it can. Normally, the first visit with us is $940. I've reduced that for you, my listeners, to $299. That's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first treatment, going over the x-rays, and a complete nutrition evaluation. Second visit, we go over the x-rays, do a nutrition evaluation, and then decide what's going to be the best course of treatment for you. Is it us? Is it an orthopedist, neurologist, neurosurgeon, massage therapist, acupuncturist? I don't know what's going to be work for you, but I can't tell you unless we evaluate you. And any one of those services, the x-rays alone, the nutrition alone, the treatment alone, is going to be more than $299. I do this because I want you to have a dog in the fight. I want you to be part of this decision. Not just saying, oh, I got this for free. Has no value. And we accept most insurances. Almost every insurance we accept. So go to the website right now, drjoe.com, book an appointment. Stop suffering needlessly. This is for you, your friends, your family, and your children. Because kids are getting sicker and sicker. And I'm scared. It's a song by the Moody Blues, and a line in the song is that I'm frightened for your children. And I really am frightened for your children. And once they're 18 and 19, they can go out on their own. They do whatever they want to do. But when you have them under your control, let's check their nervous system, digestive system, and diet. Let's get them on the right supplements. Let's keep them as healthy as we possibly can. It's so much cheaper to be healthy than it is to be sick, short-term and long-term. So drjoe.com, drjoe.com. All right, so if you're just tuning in, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. We're talking today about be your own doctor. These are my tips. This is my cheat sheet on things you can do to get well and stay well. So let's talk about headaches. It's in no particular order. I've got a ton of stuff I got to cover here. So headaches. Now, sometimes headaches are due to liver problems. Liver problems. How could I get a headache from that? Well, everything you eat, everything you drink gets detoxified and broken down in your liver. If the liver gets, simple terms, clogged up, you can have a backwash, you will, of toxins going up into the blood. And that can be some serious issues. So many times you just clean out the liver and the headaches go away. Now, my German grandmother, she came over in 1922, escaped from Hitler, and same with my grandfather, and they met here in the States, but they didn't have a lot of medicine. They grew up really poor. They grew up between World War I and World War II, so Germany was just not a good place to be at the time. So there were a lot of folk remedies that they had, and these folk remedies worked great for a lot of different things. And one of the secrets my grandmother always said is you have to be able to go to the bathroom. And if we ever started getting sick, if we always feel under the weather, she'd say, let's get you an enema. And I remember being a little kid, tiny little kid, and my grandmother putting a tube in my butt and flushing out my colon. And boy, there was so much truth to that. Because when we go to the bathroom, we sweat, we pee, we go to the bathroom, it pushes toxins out of the systems and waste products and help keep the immune system strong. And so if the bowels aren't working properly, chances are you're going to have a lot of other health issues. Now, too much is not good, not enough is no good. So normal bowel function is about once or twice a day. That's normal. Now, you can do several things to clean out the bowels, and many times we clean out the bowels, the headaches go away. So we have a product called Dr. Joe's Intestinal Formula. Works great. You can take up to 4 a day, start with 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. See what works best for you. It's the only supplement I have that I don't want you taking. Isn't that strange? Why would I say that? Because I want to get the bowels fixed so you don't need the supplement. But in term, this stuff is amazing. Very gentle, very easy to get the bowels moving. And so sometimes if you're constipated, we clean out the bowels, the headaches start to go away. And a lot of other problems go away too. So you can rub an acupuncture point on your hand, and it's in the web of your hand between your index finger and your thumb. And if you poke around in there, you'll feel just skin. Go down a little deeper, you'll feel the muscle. And poke around in there till you hit a sore spot. And just rub that point. Rub that point for about 2 or 3 minutes. And sometimes, I'm giving you a bunch of different things, that helps the headache go away. Because that's the acupuncture point to the liver. Pretty neat stuff. So that's a trick you can do. Another thing you can do when you have a headache is you want to get the blood away from your head. So what you can do is put an ice pack on the back of your head or across your shoulders and put your feet in warm water. You can use some Epsom salts water as well. Then you get magnesium absorbed into your skin, and it pulls the blood away from your head. So sometimes when you have a headache, we just need to kind of redirect everything. And you put the feet in warm water, as warm as you can handle it, and ice on your head, and it kind of drives the blood away. And that's a neat little trick you can do. The number one cause of headaches is pinched nerves, bones out of place in the neck. So if you have headaches, just go to your chiropractor. Come see us. Go to somebody who's qualified. There's a lot of junk out there too, by the way. Go to somebody who's qualified and see if there's a pinched nerve in your neck. When I get headaches, I have a traumatic brain injury. I was hit by a car when I was 10. It just messed up my head, my shoulder, my ribs. I have a fractured rib that healed. I'm a mess. So if I get a headache, it's always on my left side. It's always right behind my ear. And for years, I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And finally, maybe 10 years ago or so, I realized when my shoulder comes out of alignment, I get the headache. And I realized that because I was sleeping on my left side, I get a headache. Sleep my right side, I didn't get a headache. So my doctors and I did an evaluation on me, and my clavicle, my collarbone, when it misaligns from my shoulder, called the acromioclavicular joint, I get a headache. Put it back in place, headache goes away usually within 10 minutes. So we try to get to the cause of your healthcare problems, not just treat the symptoms. All right, my producer just told me I've just 45 seconds. I'm going to come back. I have a whole nother segment to do. But if you have any questions, send it to me through my website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. Follow me on social media. Please do that. I give you all this information. My gift to you. Been doing it for 40 years. Dr. Joe Esposito. Facebook is the Dr. Joe Esposito. Please follow me. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever you're not on, follow me. We have the podcast, Dr. Joe for the Health of It. My gift to you, absolutely free, twice a week. Dr. Joe for the Health of It. But if you have any questions, you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. And on social media, by the way, we post every day. You get 1-minute health tips every single day. Why wouldn't you do it? I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. We covered one paragraph of 7 pages. John, we have any listeners have any questions for me?
What are your thoughts on chicken and fish?
I don't eat animal products. If you're going to eat chicken, it's got to be organic. It's a better choice. Not a good choice. It's a better choice. If you're going to eat fish, wild caught only. I'm not a fan of fish. Most fish, in fact, the studies I've read, all fish, but I can never say all, have mercury in it. Heavy metals, lead, cadmium, but mercury is the big one. So I'm not a fan of fish. If you're going to eat fish, wild caught sea fish, not lake fish. They did a study in Australia trying to find any fish. Now, Australia is not very populated. Any fish that didn't have toxic levels of chemicals in it, like heavy metals. They couldn't find one fish in the whole continent that didn't have some type of toxic chemical in it. So if you're going to do it, organic only or wild caught, but I wish you wouldn't do it. So what else?
I've heard that even healthy carbonated beverages neutralize stomach acid, so they shouldn't be consumed during a meal. What are your thoughts?
Correct. They are slightly alkaline, and that's why if you have a stain on your shirt, you could use seltzer water, not club soda. Well, club soda has salt in it too. That could leave a little stain, but seltzer water will dissolve it because it's slightly alkaline. So it can alkalize the stomachs, but the stomach will reacidify itself within minutes. So if you want to be really perfect, yes, that's correct, but I wouldn't worry about it. So that's the least of your concerns. There's many other things you got to worry about than that. The body will correct itself for that. Like drinking water with a meal. It dilutes your stomach acid, but then water gets absorbed, it reconstitutes the stomach acid. So, yeah, that's taking a little bit of science and making it a big thing. What else, John?
Are cherries better than berries?
They're both good. I don't know if one is better than the other. I like cherries. I like berries. Try to do organic because both of them are sprayed a lot with chemicals. But I don't think there's one is better than the other. I would say, in fact, in my freezer right now, I have a mix of organic cherries and berries that I use in my Dr. Joe Super Greens and Essential Source. So I don't know if one's better than the other. I think they're both good. What else?
What are your favorite soups to make?
My favorite soups? Oh, gosh, there's so many. I love split pea. I love lentil. I just made dal yesterday, as a matter of fact, D-A-L, and it was yellow split peas, ginger, turmeric. I grow turmeric like crazy in my backyard. I got so much turmeric. Garlic, onions, turmeric, ginger, sauteed together. I put in some yellow split peas, vegetable broth, a can of organic coconut milk, and that's dal. It's wonderful. Sometimes it depends what I'm in the mood for. Like sometimes I'll just do a vegetable soup. I'll just go crazy. Carrots, onions, celery, organic potatoes, chop them up, boil it up, smash it up, make a cream soup. I do a lot of soups. I got a real good hot and sour soup recipe in my book, Eating Right for the Health of It. So I wish I had a favorite, but I don't. I like them all. So, what else?
That is all.
All right, great. All right, ready for round 2. Did we connect, John, to the other Facebook page? Okay. All right. Ready for part 2? Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. If you stayed with me, thank you. If you just joined me, welcome. I do appreciate you being here. We're talking today about be your own doctor. And if you didn't tune in earlier, I was saying that I did this lecture like 40 years ago, and I found some old notes. And I said, oh, my gosh, I gotta revitalize this thing. And a lot of the stuff, 40 years later, is still the same. Hasn't changed. I added a few new things to it. Now, I'm not going to get to everything. There's no way. I'm probably going to do a part 2 on this. I'm still not going to get to everything. Send me your questions through my website, drjoe.com, any questions you have. And if you want a copy of today's show notes, they're absolutely free, no charge, no catch. Send me an email through the website, drjoe.com, and just put in there, be your own doctor, in the title or somewhere in the notes, and I will send it to you. And the reason I want you to put a title in there is we give out show notes on just about every show I do. So if you say show notes, I don't know which ones you're talking about. I'll send you the most recent ones. But be your own doctor. Just put it in the title. I will send it to you. It's absolutely free. It's my gift to you, drjoe.com. So we talked about building the immune system in part one, the first part. Now we're talking about headaches and ways to get rid of headaches. So we did say chiropractic care is the most effective, least expensive treatment for all back pain, including headaches. Now, another thing that you can get headaches from is what you eat. I can't do caffeine. If I even have a little bit of caffeine, a small piece of organic chocolate, I will get a headache that night. I'm really sensitive to caffeine. Now, most people aren't. That's me. I figured it out by myself, and I don't do it. Aspartame is one that most people don't even think about. Aspartame is in, I want to say 3,000 or 5,000 products. Don't quote me on that. I don't have a stat on that one. But so many different products. And aspartame breaks down to aspartic acid, phenylalanine, and methyl esters. Don't worry about the chemistry. But aspartic acid, in small amounts, is good for you. In large amounts, isolated by itself, is what we call an excitotoxin. It causes the nerves to essentially fire faster than they're supposed to and can literally burn out your brain cells. And so if you're doing diet sodas, sugar-free gum, yogurts, diet foods, it's everywhere. So I would say stay away from the aspartame if you have headaches. And here's a trick that I give everybody, all my patients. Just spoke with a patient earlier, and she said, I wake up in the morning, my sinuses are running, I'm coughing a lot, I have so much mucus, young girl, tall, very pretty girl, athletic, and she said, I just have so much mucus. And I said, can we cut out the wheat and the dairy products? And she just looked at me with shock. Like, well, that's all I eat is wheat and dairy products, cheese and ice cream and butter. I said, let's do this. Cut out the wheat and the dairy for 2 weeks. If nothing changes, go back to eat wheat and dairy. If it does, I was right. If it doesn't, I was wrong. Nothing lost. And her mother was in a room with her, and she goes, I like that. We can do that. And I had another patient, older woman, probably in her 90s, and she said the same thing. I cough up so much phlegm every day, and I don't know what to do. I said, well, I want you to cut out the wheat and the dairy products. And she said, but I eat bread every meal. I said, I know. How often do you have mucus? She goes, every day. I said, let's cut it out and see what happens. And she says, well, okay. And that's why I said, try these things. If they don't work, they don't work. But they do work. Okay. So aspartame, if you do diet sodas, cut them out for, I'm going to say a month, though, because you may have to detoxify the aspartame, and see how you feel. Then, very simply, have some more diet soda. Headaches come back? I was right. Headaches don't come back? I was wrong. So what? You didn't drink aspartame for 4 weeks. So there's no risk. Very high reward, very low risk. That's a good bet. If I can go to Vegas and get that kind of odds, I'll take it all day, every day. Well, there's no gamble with your health. These are the things that we know work. And if you drink caffeine, if you drink aspartame, usually in the form of cola, but other sodas have it too. Those are diuretics. They make you pee, and they dehydrate you. And a lot of us are dehydrated, and you don't know it. And the reason you don't know it is this. There's one part of your brain in the hypothalamus that controls hunger, and another part of your brain that controls thirst when you're born. As a toddler, those two parts of the brain come together, and you have a real tough time distinguishing between hunger and thirst. So many times you're not hungry, you're thirsty. But what do? We eat. And many times we eat foods that are toxic. We eat the 7 deadly sins: alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, artificial sweetener, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas, processed food, ultra-processed foods. And that really just drains your body of nutrients. And you're not rehydrating your body, which is the whole point of this. And that can lead to things like headaches, constipation, muscle soreness, lack of sleep, low sexual function. You got to get fluid into your body. What's the best fluid? Water. Now, I recommend a whole house water filter, because every drop of water in my house, I can bathe, I can brush my teeth, I can wash my clothes, I can shower. Every drop of water in my house is filtered. Now, these aren't cheap. They're a couple of $1,000s. Well worth it. Because every drop of water in my house I know is pure. And it doesn't have toxic chemicals in it, like chlorine and fluorine and chemicals and bacteria. I mean, those are all filtered out at the waste centers anyway. But I want to make sure I'm drinking pure water, and I drink a lot. And I drink a lot of tea, too. Herbal teas count as water, by the way. So you can go on different kicks. You can do anise tea, which tastes like licorice. You can do that. You can do ginger tea. You can do turmeric tea. Okay, I'm on fenugreek tea right now. I'm on a fenugreek kick. And I bought fenugreek in bulk. And I have a little tea ball. And I take the tea ball. I put about a half a teaspoon of fenugreek in there. I'll put some cloves in there too. Seal it up. Drop it in my hot water. My stainless steel, not plastic, hot water. And then I add a little bit of stevia to it. Now, fenugreek helps balance out your hormones. So I like that. Now, I just ordered some slippery elm. Slippery elm helps soothe your throat and you coat all the mucous membranes in your body. So I'm going to start doing some slippery elm, probably with my fenugreek, maybe by itself. But what did I say? I said something interesting. I said bulk tea, didn't I? I didn't say tea bags. Why is that? Tea bags have microplastics in them. And if you listen to my show regularly, a couple of weeks ago, we did a whole show on microplastics and how the plastic gets into the cell and causes an inflammatory reaction. And the immune system now attacks the inflammation, and it doesn't have a way to break down plastic. It can break down viruses, germs, and bacteria, can't break down plastic. So you have this chronic inflammatory reaction that's occurring, weakening the immune system, affecting the brain, increasing your risk of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, high blood pressure, cancer, diabetes. And so if you take a hot tea bag and put it in hot water, you're getting these microplastics in your tea. So I got a stainless steel tea ball. I think they were 3 for $12 on Amazon. And that's what I put in my loose tea, in my organic loose tea, of course. And it tastes so much better. And you can determine how much you want. You want it stronger, add some more. We could put less. And it's so much cheaper. You're going to save so much money. You're going to feel good. You're going to be able to do medicinal teas, like lavender is for relaxation, peppermint is for digestion. There's so many different teas you can do. Just look up herbal teas and their health benefits and decide which ones you like. Now, maybe you don't like licorice. Well, don't do anise then. Do something else. The nice part is you can decide. And a lot of places like the grocery store Sprouts has bulk section. So you can take a little bit at a time and try it and see different ones. Now, they don't carry all the teas I like, but it's just a start. So much easier, so much better, so much cheaper than anything you're doing right now. And you're not going to use aspartame, which can increase your risk of headaches. And you're not going to dehydrate yourself. Because I drink about 2 or 3 cups of tea a day, plus my water. Plus I eat a lot of watery vegetables and fruits. So I get lots of water. So that counts. If I'm going to have a peach or an apple or a salad, that's fluid getting in my body. And the plants have a wonderful way to filter all that water out and make it healthy for you. That's why you can take bad water, water it in plants, and the plants can filter out the junk. So nature says, here it is, man. Here's what you need. Come get it. For some reason, we just don't listen. I haven't had a soda in years. Now, if you're going to drink soda, and even with cola soda, they have sodas sweetened with stevia, xylitol. So one brand is Zevia, Z-E-V-I-A. I have no connection to this brand. I have no connection to Sprouts. If I give you recommendations, it's just because these are things I found. And you might be surprised if you get a cola sweetened with stevia that it comes out clear. The only reason colas are dark is they'll add caramel color to it. And caramel color is, we think, is linked to certain types of cancer. So just drink a clear cola if you want to, sweetened with stevia. In fact, one of my coworkers loved his sodas, loved his colas. And finally, his wife beat him up a little bit, started making him drink Zevia. And now he can't go back. He tried going back to regular colas. He can't because it's so overwhelmingly sweet. So we solved all the problems. He gets his cola, gets his caffeine fix, doesn't have the sugar, doesn't have the caramel color. Nobody loses. Everybody wins. And he's got a bunch of kids. He's got to keep these kids around. He's got to be around for a long time, take care of his kids. So little steps like that make such a big difference. And we're talking today about be your own doctor. If you're just tuning in, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. And we're talking today about tips to be your own doctor. So caffeine can give you a headache. Alcohol, of course, can give you a headache. It dehydrates you. But if you tuned in earlier, in case you didn't, we said if you drink, mitigate the damage. How do you mitigate the damage? Drink a lot of water. Take extra scoop of Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, Dr. Joe's Methylated B Complex. An additional dose, you take it in the morning every day, I hope you should. Take an additional dose in the evening if you're going to go drinking to help mitigate the damage, and then drink a lot of water. I don't like drinking. I like being on top of my game at all times. But if you do like drinking, at least we're going to handle that. Okay? So if you're just tuning in, we're talking today about how to be your own doctor. We're teaching you tricks that you can do to be your own doctor. Now, I see a lot of patients, and once they get to know me, they'll talk about their menstrual cramps. Not something we usually talk about on the first visit, but over time they trust me and they say, I get a lot of menstrual cramps. What do I do? Well, a couple of things you can do. Number one is you got to check the nerve supply in the low back, because the nerves in the low back, as they exit the spine, control your back, hips, legs, knees, and ankles. Back pain, leg pain, hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain. But those same nerves control your colon, your sex organs, and your bladder. So now, if I have a pinched nerve in my low back, the messages from my brain may not be 100% getting to my colon, sex organs, and bladder. So we might have things like back pain, leg pain, hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain, but we also may have gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, urinary issues, urinary leakage, sexual problems, menstrual periods for men and women, sexual problems. That's the nerve. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. He's a neurologist. And we were just chatting, and he sends us a lot of patients. He says, listen, he says, I'll do an evaluation on them, but I want you to check them too. Because we can do all the sophisticated testing. He says, but if I find something, there's not a whole lot I can do for the patient. He's a good diagnostician. He said, I don't know how to treat. So I sent him over to you, Joe, and you do miracles with the patients I send you. So I was talking about this colon, sex organs, and bladder thing one day on a show, and he calls me up and he says, I never thought of it like that before. Fascinating. I had never tied it to erectile dysfunction or urinary leakage or bowel issues or menstrual cramps. He goes, makes perfect sense. And yes, it does make perfect sense. It's just knowing we know these things. We just have to put it in different light sometimes. Look at it with a new set of eyes and say, wow, how do I take this knowledge and apply it? There's a technique we use in our office called applied kinesiology. Kinesiology is the study of muscles. Okay, how they move, how they work, imbalances. Now, I find a muscle imbalance. I find a short circuit of a nerve. What do I do with it? This is where applied kinesiology comes in. We apply the knowledge of what we have to go in and fix it. So kinesiologists are great, but we do a little further. We test the nerve supply as well. So menstrual cramps, check the nerve supply. Number 2, make sure you're hydrated. Number 3, make sure you have enough magnesium. 50 to 80% of us are deficient in magnesium. And you get magnesium from things like fruits and lentils and beans and split peas, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Most of us don't eat that diet. So most of us are magnesium deficient. And magnesium helps relax the muscles. Now, we have magnesium on our website, drjoe.com, and there's different types of magnesium. But this one actually goes into the mitochondria of the cell and helps the mitochondria generate electricity. And we find it's very good if the cells are healthy, they're able to relax. So take some magnesium. Now, in the morning, what I do is I take a scoop of Dr. Joe's Super Green, a scoop of Dr. Joe's Essential Source, a scoop of magnesium, a scoop of creatine. Creatine helps keep my muscles strong, and it helps my brain work better. And then I add 10 drops of Dr. Joe's vitamin D3 with K2. So Super Green, Essential Source, creatine, magnesium, and D3. And if I'm crazy, I'll add a half a frozen banana, some frozen berries, some coconut milk, almond milk. You can do water if you want to. And I put it in a little magic bullet, whip it up, and I drink that first thing in the morning. When I go to bed at night, I look forward to waking up in the morning to have that. Because if you did nothing but that, you should do more. But if you do nothing but just that, oh my gosh, you're going to have better nutrition than most people in the whole world just by doing that. So that's what we try to do. We try to teach you things on how to get well and stay well. Now, if you do have a health issue, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, digestive issues, concerned about nutrition, make an appointment to come see us. In the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. I want to be your doctor. Now, I know these shows go all over the world. So if you're not in the Atlanta area, send me your questions through the website, drjoe.com, or even if you are in the Atlanta area, and I will answer your questions. And we can also do a telehealth. We can also do a Zoom call or something to discuss your health issues. But let's get to the cause of your problems, not just treat the symptoms. So if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. Normally the first visit is $940. I've reduced that to $299. Exam, x-rays, consultation, going over the x-rays, and a complete nutrition evaluation. I really want to get to the cause of your problems. I don't want to just treat the symptoms. Now, I'll treat your symptoms, sure, but I want to go beyond that. I want to give you everything we can for you to take control of your own health and stop suffering needlessly. And we accept almost every insurance, car accident, sports injuries, workers' comp. Let's get in there and let's find out what we can do to get you well and keep you well. Not just get you well, but keep you well. drjoe.com. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. We post every single day. If you send me a friend request on Facebook, that's probably my personal page. If you just follow my business page, I post the same thing on personal and business, so that's fine. But drjoe.com, really, that's a great source of information. And we have about 4,000 hours of content there, too. So you can search the website if you want to as well. But send me your questions. I'll do the work for you. I really want to help get to the cause of your problems. So we're talking today about how to be your own doctor. These are tidbits. It's your cheat sheet that we have here on things you can do to get yourself well. Now, as cold and flu season rolls in, we're going to get sore throats. I don't like headaches. I don't like sore throats. So that's why I did the immune system first, headaches, and now we're doing sore throats. Because this is my story. I don't get menstrual cramps, but I want to teach you how to get rid of them too. But I want to tell you the things that bother me the most. So slippery elm, we talked about that earlier. Get some organic slippery elm tea. You can get it online. It's about $12 for probably 6 ounces or a pound. It's really cheap. And I drink it every day. Because, again, water's fine, but it gets boring sometimes. So I have my filtered water from my house, and I boil it up, and I have my tea ball, because I don't use tea bags because of microplastics, and I put the slippery elm in the tea ball, seal it, drop it in the water, add a little bit of stevia, and I drink it every day. It tastes great. So slippery elm is something I do all day, every day, because we talk a lot, and we dry out. If winter comes, you're going to start to dry out. There's just not a lot of moisture in the air, so keep the body and the mucous membranes hydrated. So slippery elm is great. Now, you can gargle with salt. You may have heard this one before. And when salt hits a virus, it causes the virus essentially to explode, okay? Kind of sucks the fluid out of the virus and it dies. So what you can do is use salt, but don't use table salt. You want to use air-dried sea salt, Celtic salt. Baja Gold is another one you can use. And you don't need a lot, just until it's salty water. And just throw it in your back, gargle a little bit, spit it out, and do that multiple times a day. And that can help ease the pain as well. Now, you can do honey, garlic, and pepper. You can mix those together. You can take some garlic and squeeze it and get the juice from it. Mix it with a little bit of honey. And you could add a little pepper to it because cayenne pepper is a vasodilator. And you could just kind of swallow that and let it float down the back of your throat. That can work as well. In our offices, we have something called a cold laser. And cold laser has different settings on it. And you can do it to help grow new tissue. You can do it for viruses. And you can set it on a virus setting, and we can just put the cold laser on your throat. Now, I'm not saying this is going to cure anything, but this is how we speed up the healing process. So there's a lot of things you can do. But with the sore throat, you have to keep your immune system strong. So we have Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster and Dr. Joe's Seasonal Tonic, and I only talk about these really in the winter months. I take Wellness Booster every day. Now, it has a little bit of alcohol in it. So if you're an alcoholic, this is not a product for you. But if you can handle it, it's very, very, very light. I can't do any alcohol, and I can do this. I'm fine. But this is going to help keep the immune system strong. If you get an infection, then we have Dr. Joe's Seasonal Tonic. And I take 2 or 3 dropperfuls every hour. And if you get it when you get your first symptom, most of the time within a day or two, it's gone. And it's on sale now, 40% off. We essentially just want you to have it in your house because I want you to get well. So it's all on the website, drjoe.com, in the store section of the website. Now, if you have a sore throat, it could be due to acid reflux. Number one reason we see patients, pain, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling. Number 2 reason we see patients, digestive problems. And the most common digestive problem is your stomach is pushing up into your diaphragm, causing acid to reflux up into your throat. And if acid is refluxing up into the throat, that acid can irritate your throat. Because I've had people with chronic sore throats, and they've been ear, nose, and throat doctors, and they've taken antibiotics, and it's not a virus or a germ or a bacteria. It's acid irritating the lining of your throat because of acid reflux. So the nice part about acid reflux is we have a technique we use where we can actually adjust or pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm. We test every patient for acid reflux, has any type of symptoms. And we adjust, I'd say 80% of our patients, we have to adjust their stomachs, along with everything else, the neck pain, the back pain, the shoulder pain. But when you fix the stomach, not only does the acid not go up into your throat and cause potential sore throat, hoarseness, sinus problems, many people with chronic sinusitis, it's acid reflux. But now you're able to digest your food. And your stomach has one main job, and that job is to digest proteins. Now, if we look under a microscope, and I was talking about this on a show the other day, and a caller called in, and he said, Dr. Joe, I've never heard your show before. He says, I have horrible anxiety. He says, and what you just said explained everything to me that no doctor has ever been able to explain to me before. He said, I started getting acid reflux, the anxiety set in. I've been on medication for decades, and nobody can help my anxiety. And it happened when I had acid reflux. And the acid reflux is still there, and the anxiety is still there. Your stomach breaks proteins into amino acids. There's 20 amino acids in a human diet. The amino acid named tryptophan combines with vitamin B6, creates a chemical called 5-HTP. 5-HTP becomes serotonin in your brain. Serotonin calms you down, makes you happy. Serotonin becomes melatonin, which helps you sleep. But during COVID, we found something out. Melatonin not only helps you sleep, it also helps protect the cells against viruses. Wow. How cool is that? So when we fix the stomach, not only do we help with the acid reflux in the throat, we help the body make better neurotransmitters and more neurotransmitters for the brain, help you focus, help you calm down, help you experience pleasure, give you energy. Tyrosine becomes dopamine, dopamine becomes norepinephrine, norepinephrine gives you energy. Wow. So your gut problems may be causing your emotional problems. So we talk about being your own doctor. This guy was thrilled the other day on one of my shows when I talked about this. The light bulb came on. He says, that's my problem. When can I come see you? I said, as soon as you call and make an appointment. We have appointments available all the time. I leave new patient appointments open, try to do it every day, unless they fill up, so that you can come see us immediately. So if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. We can do it in person. We do telehealth, whatever works best for you. But let's put together a protocol specifically for you. Now, I'm not going to come close to covering all the notes I have today on Be Your Own Doctor. So if you want to get a copy of these show notes, send it to me through my website, drjoe.com. Just say Be Your Own Doctor in the email. It says contact us. There's a little bot that says, hey, want to chat? It says contact us. It says ask a question. All of them come to me personally. I will answer your questions for you. But make an appointment through the website and come see us. That's really the best thing you can do. So 24 hours a day, answer your question. Again, I'm not going to be awake 24 hours a day. I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. So we're talking today about ways to be your own doctor. And the acid reflux, I said this the other day. It was interesting. If I could somehow never be able to adjust another patient again from a chiropractic standpoint, from head to toe, there's 206 bones in the body, we can adjust all of them. Knowing what I know, and I could never do it again, what would I do with my life? I would just adjust stomachs. So many people have stomach issues. And when we fix the stomach, so many good things happen. All right, folks, I'm almost out of time. I'm going to do part 2 next week because I covered a half a page of, 10 pages that I have here. But if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. If you want today's show notes, send me an email, drjoe.com. Just put Be Your Own Doctor in the notes. I'm happy to answer for you. Follow us on social media. Please do this. I give you all this information, my gift to you. Dr. Joe Esposito, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Facebook is the Dr. Joe Esposito. Podcast, Dr. Joe for the Health of It. Subscribe to my podcast. Do me a favor. Subscribe. It costs you nothing to do me a favor. And if you want to see my pretty face, the YouTube channel. And that's absolutely free. Subscribe to that too. Let's get to the cause of your healthcare problems. Let's stop treating the symptoms. So once again, drjoe.com. We got a lot more to cover, so tell your friends about the show. Share it with everyone you know. And I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Talk to you next time. All right, what do you got?
Should I add basil to my soups?
Sure, absolutely. Basil's awesome. All right.
I purchased your magnesium, but I was told that it's bad for your kidneys if you take it every day. Is that true?
Nope. I don't know who told you that. And I don't know what you have kidney problems, but I've never heard that before, so no. I'll disagree with that.
I've heard that even pureeing fruit is not as healthy as eating the real fruit because the body treats the nutrients differently.
Well, when you chew, you release a lot of saliva, and the saliva helps break down your sugar, the sugars. In your saliva is something called salivary amylase, and salivary amylase breaks carbohydrates down. And I'll give you a whole lecture on how things are digested. But yes, chewing the whole food is better. Pureeing it's still better than donuts and cookies. So yeah, pureeing is not bad. Chewing it whole food is better though. Yeah. All right, what else you got?
Are cucumbers and pickles healthy?
Yes and yes. Now, pickles can be high in salt. In fact, I was going to do a whole show on pickles one day. I just never got around to it. Pickles are great. Garlic is great. One of many things you can do with pickles is when you have sugar cravings. My mouth is watering. When you have sugar cravings, eat a garlic pickle. and that tartness overrides the sugar sensation in your brain, and many times you break the sugar craving instantly. So pickles are great. They're high in magnesium. They're high in other nutrients. Just watch out for too much salt. You might want to drink a lot of water with it. Make sure they're organic too, or if you're eating the skin. So, what else?
Are there any healthy substitutes for mustard?
Mustard's not bad. Do an organic mustard, you're fine with that. It usually has turmeric in it. Turmeric's an anti-inflammatory, so I'm fine with organic mustard. Yeah, I'm good with that. It's way better than mayonnaise. Anything else?
That is all.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you